talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They don't know basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. We are here fucking the first full week. We already talked about a little bit on the Patreon, but goddamn, does it feel good to have basketball back? And we decided we got to start treating the people to some guests. You've suffered through a whole summer of just me and Sam, the same shit over and over again. We're getting a little variety in the mix here. Returning our pal, Laker fan, hilarious comedian, I was going to say big round of applause, like I'm bringing you up on stage. Everyone clap in your homes or at your horrible, shitty job where you're listening to this right now. For our pal, Rob Haze. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to see you, man.
I was disappointed in y'all for a long time. I'm like, yo, we won the championship.
That's true.
I get no invite. No
that
invite.
Is true.
Y'all love yourselves so much that, no love. Like,
and now, well, here's how it works. The Lakers suck again, and you're back on
so
the
you're
podcast.
Back now. We let you cool off for a whole year. Let the
had me on.
Leading scorer Carmelo Anthony on the Los Angeles Lakers.
He put up 28 last night.
He looked good.
Top 75 greatest players of all time, man.
Oh, we got to talk about that, dude. Because
I'd love to talk.
I got to be honest. 75 greatest players. I mean, everyone's talking about Clay, but I can't believe Dwight Howard is not on that list.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Dwight's not on the list. It's crazy.
Are you serious that you can't believe Dwight's not on the list?
Wow. Are you fucking kidding?
Five-time first All-NBA. I think it's a pretty hard snub.
Listen, as much of a fucking clown as Dwight is, who is the center of LeBron and Melo's generation? Who is it? It's Dwight. There's no other center.
It's
yeah. There's nobody else, bro. I know. Listen, I've run the numbers.
Hard snub.
I've run the numbers. I didn't want it to be Dwight, but it's Dwight.
Well, Dwight and Kyrie are proof that your personality can get you kicked off this list, which it's a bummer. But I think Clay is a huge snub, though.
Well, and I'll say this. They're proof of that, and Dame is proof that your personality can get you on the list. Because I love Dame, but he's not a top 75 player.
Dame's
he's just
not a top 75 player, and
not
also
yet. He's not. If you know what I'm saying, it's just like you can't have him on there.
Well, no T-Mac on the list. I mean, I'm a huge T-Mac fan. That one hurt because it's was Dominique Wilkins on the list?
Dominique was on the list because they left him off in '97.
Right. Dominique was on, which makes sense. He should be on the list.
His numbers are stupid. If you look at Dominique Wilkins' scoring numbers, he's dropping 30 a game in the 80s, which is like a hard 30.
Dude. But I will say the pace of the game was still pretty high back then. You know what I mean? It's not as impressive as if a motherfucker was doing it in 94. You know what I mean? But it's still, don't get me wrong. I think he should be on the list. All right, fuck it. Let's talk about this before we get into the fucking Lakers.
Vince Carter that's kind of an omission, right?
I don't know, because what was Vince's absolute peak? You know what I mean?
The thing with Vince, even T-Mac, is if you make a case for Vince, you make a case for T-Mac, you also open the floodgates for a lot of other cases.
Yeah, because they're cool, but let's be real about this. Vince had what? Let me look at his fucking page right here. He had 2 All-NBAs. I mean, is that it?
Okay.
That's
it. He was in a golden age of guards. I mean,
I know, I get that, but it's also he wasn't. What was his highest achievement in the playoffs? I mean, he was a role player on that.
Beating the Knicks in Game 7 after Marcus Camby sat out because his sister was. That was an ugly experience.
You're the only human being who that would be the answer for what his high watermark in the playoffs
going
was.
To his college graduation was his playoff achievement.
And look, I love T-Mac too, but you could say the same. I mean, maybe there is more of a peak argument about T-Mac, because T-Mac was a better player than Vince at his peak without question.
No question.
But it's also he never got out of the first round, I mean, never did.
75 years of the NBA, you don't have 75 MVPs almost if you win an MVP, it's almost automatic unless you're
Yeah.
Derrick Rose.
Of course.
Derrick Rose.
So, you know.
Actually, you know what, dude? I'm looking at T-Mac's thing. I didn't I mean, he should have won. He should be in.
But
T-Mac-
T-Mac was
T-Mac's the
never in
best.
contention for an MVP because T-Mac had a reputation for not playing defense.
Sure, but I just
know.
feel like two scoring championships, 7 times All NBA, and it's also like he's the kind of guy that's like, you can make the argument that T-Mac he's the guy who was never on the right team, right? Like,
Oh
he
my
just
God, his
wasn't-
second best score in Orlando was rookie Mike Miller. Like
Yeah.
he never had another weapon. Really.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's real. That's real. But
And to me, T-Mac should be on the list where we really need. And look, Dame most of the modern guys, it's like, okay, I see it, except for Dame, who I just think like great play, like really good player, but like doesn't have that many. A lot more All-Stars than All NBAs. Obviously, he's in Steph's era, obviously, but at the same time, it's like he hasn't really. I mean, they've been consistently good, but there's
Westbrook,
no winning, right?
Is Westbrook on the
Of course he's
75?
on the list.
Yeah.
for sure.
Over
He got
Clay?
an MVP. He beat a record that we never thought we'd see beat.
Fair enough.
We never thought Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson never even tried to triple-double a whole year. He did that when he was mad. He got mad and was like, I'll show you on the stat line, buddy. You know, like that.
For sure. And we can
that's
argue about
saying
Westbrook in terms of like, I mean, whatever you want to say about this Lakers team, especially, and like the kind of player he is and how difficult he might be to like really find the right mix for his talents. But the fact that the talents exist, I don't think you can disagree that he's that talented. And like Rob said, once you have an MVP and you put up real counting stats, it's like
It's
in.
tough.
You're in. You're not gonna not be in.
You're right. It's just
But I
funny
think-
that like I love Bob Cousy. I have a lot of respect for Bob Cousy.
No.
Kyrie
Kousy's
Irving
gotta go.
Kyrie Irving.
Cousy's
break-
gotta go.
No.
would break his
Cousy's
fucking
gotta
ankles.
No way. Y'all tripping. First of all,
No.
Kouzy
Fuck
first
Bob
star in
Cousy.
the NBA. Kouzy
Get
had
the
an
fuck outta
endorsement
here.
with a cigarette company. There's
That's
a poster
cool. I will
of
give him
Kouzy
that.
smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Y'all not gonna do Bob Cousy.
Bob
like
Cousy
that.
sucks dick. Honestly, like
He doesn't. I'm not going that far.
there are comedians.
I hate the Celtics.
There are
but come on.
comedians at the run Jake Head used to put together that could beat Bob Cousy about. It's not me.
I don't-
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
think
say it was
so.
me.
I think Bob Cousy would eat a lot of people's lunch. I bet
Bob
you.
Cousy's shooting percentage was 37%.
It wasn't. He
You're
was
not.
point
You're
guard.
not
It wasn't
touching
about
Dolph
shooting.
Shays on that list. I don't want
Dolph
this to get
Shays gotta go,
anti-Semitic.
Sam. I knew you were gonna get ahead
this
of it.
shit's anti-Semitic,
Dolph Shays gotta
motherfucker.
go.
Fuck
I don't
you,
give
Stav.
a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude. Dolph Shays gotta go. Some of these
I'm not-
motherfuckers gotta go, dude.
I'm
Is
not
Clay
letting people talk
Thompson is
about-
on the list.
Go watch Sam Jones highlights. Your man was doing turnaround
Jones is
jumpers
good.
in the 60s. He got 10 championships. Red
Fine.
Auerbach would have let him go. He was black in
Okay.
the 60s, and he had to wear Chucks every game. Sam Jones got to stay.
It's
You
the-
give Sam Jones an air unit, he might be doing crazy stuff.
Fine, yes.
I heard a lot of trash talking on Reggie Miller, and even as a Knicks fan and hating Reggie Miller, he's on the list. I mean,
No,
he's
you know who really has to go? No, Reggie Miller's on the list. I know. We both hate. Fuck Reggie. He's a fucking corny as shit. And he hurt
But that was
your
actually I hate
childhood's
Reggie, but that
feelings.
was kind of sweet how he found out and didn't expect to be on the list. Like that was
Yeah.
actually like a sweet
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're pro Cheryl here. We've made that very clear.
for sure. I'm a Cheryl Miller guy.
We're Cheryl over Reggie
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
Who really has to go was Bill Walton. Like
No.
yes,
Disagree.
dude.
Disagree.
He had one
No.
good season. I'm sorry. If you're putting it's like Derrick Rose. I know he didn't win a championship, but it's like
No.
injuries took his fucking prime away, dude. Listen, if this counted the NCAA, sure. The motherfucker was like straight up injured his whole career. You can't
But
Well,
Bill
he will be
Walton can make
replaced.
the case of that good season is that, like Wes Unsel's also on the list, Rookie of the Year, MVP.
but he
Like
had a
the
much
people that-
longer career.
He
much
had a longer
career.
run for
But
sure.
we both
but
know
Bill
that
Walton,
he'll be replaced by probably like a Nikola Jokic
In
or
the
someone like
100,
that.
you mean in the 100? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Bill Walton, first of all, came in one of the greatest college players ever.
That's not
You
what
know
we're
I'm
fucking
saying?
talking about.
I
Rob.
know, but I'm saying
We're
so
not
he
talking
came in
about
the
that.
league. He
Does,
got
that not
his
play, does
championship
college not play a
early.
role in this?
And
No.
it was the first championship after the merger with the ABA, and he beat the ABA's guy, Dr. J, in the finals.
Right.
So it's kind of like Bill Walton could talk trash to other people who played in the era where there were two different leagues and be like, I won it
for sure
against the best of the best.
And you know what?
Y'all didn't.
That's kind of interesting. That might be what we have to do. Like, why aren't our records like pre and post merger? I'm sorry, but it's like that makes a lot more sense to me. Where it's like that's when the game starts being the modern game. And maybe Bill Russell can be grandfathered in because he was that good, but like Bob Cousy can suck my fucking dick. Dolph Shays, I'm sorry, Sam.
He's here to stay 18 and 12 in the 50s. That motherfucker
in the 50s.
I don't know.
If you were watching Leave It to Beaver after your games, if you were hurrying home to watch the newest episode of Leave It to Beaver,
then the game had a message for the whole family, brother.
You cannot be on the fucking list as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, number one snub of Dwight, T-Mac, Clay, and Kyrie. Who's the number one snub?
I mean, I honestly, as much as I don't like Dwight, I think it's Dwight because Dwight is so the center of his era. Like Clay, I get the like to me, and then T-Mac seeing his like stats and shit, it's like it's hard to keep him off when you have some of these other guys on. I mean, Dame should not be on there compared to I mean Kyrie. I would have to think about it a little more, but the other three I would have over Dame for sure.
Honestly, I can't give it to Dwight because Dwight gets with the top 75 player, and then, you know, he gets with like two of them, like Nash and Kobe, and they older. But Dwight wasn't, you know, Dwight's ego.
This is Lakers bias here,
right?
This is insanity.
But no.
What
then
you're
he
saying
goes
is
to Houston
crazy.
to we don't even know he's gonna be a top 75. We don't even know Harden's gonna be an MVP, and then he can't really figure it out with him. And then, you know, he goes to the Hawks.
That's fucking
he goes
dumb, dude.
to the Wizards. He goes
but
to
here's the
Hornets.
argument, though. He takes a team with Rashard Lewis and Hedo Turkoglu to past LeBron to the finals.
Bro,
I mean,
8 times All-NBA, 3 times Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
5 times All-Defense.
Yeah.
He do
Rookie of the Year.
He do bounces. Your boy Vince Carter, who y'all are saying potential snub, joins the team.
I didn't
and then
say
what
that.
do they do
He's
the
not
next
even.
year?
He's not even
The
in my top
next
4
year.
snubs. Yeah.
The next year,
No,
it's Vince and Dwight, and what do?
Come on, dude. The Dwight argument is not about winning. It's about his body of work, and it's about being the center of his generation. He defines that position from in the 2000s. He really does. I mean,
Best shoulders in the history of the NBA for sure.
Great
It's
shoulders.
A list of shoulders.
Oh, dude.
He's 1 through 5 on that
yes,
list.
probably I would say one of the top closeted homosexuals in NBA history. If I had to,
I don't know if we should put this. what about how? If we're talking,
Rob, you know the
potential,
kind of closeted church black guy, and tell me that's not Dwight. Tell me that's not Dwight.
Hey, I'm not speaking on that. We from the same hood. I know where that closet is. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Look, there's a reason you spend that much time at the gym. Let's be real. Karl Malone, you know what I'm talking about.
He's the guy. Yeah. Anyway, fine.
Dude,
we can move forward.
If we're talking potential and then not making the list, like guys who had all the potential, it's got to be like T-Mac, D-Rose, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, like guys who had the tools who should have. Like when you saw Grant Hill in the 90s, dude, that guy was like, he was the heir to Jordan. Same with Penny. He was the heir to Magic.
But I mean, I know what we're saying, but that's also a testament to T-Mac because the motherfucker has 7 All-NBAs. In a really talent-rich era at his position. Like, that's 2 scoring championships. In my opinion, that's what I'm saying. Fucking Dolph Shays has to go. That's what I'm talking about. It's not that he's a bad player. It's that, like, when we've got these guys from, like, before the fucking merger and T-Mac doesn't get on, I'm sorry, bro. They got to go. You have to go if schools were still segregated when you played basketball. Like that's it. If one of your All-NBAs happened before Brown versus the Board of Education, then it doesn't count in my opinion. I'm sorry, we're throwing those out.
I don't want
Sam.
Dolph Shays off the list because he's the player that looks closest to me on the list.
Yeah.
He's got the Bird Ernie eyebrows.
Maybe in the Lakers show HBO series that Adam McKay is producing, maybe in a Dolph Shays flashback, you could play him, Sam. maybe we need to start angling for that.
I can
be the fat anti-Semitic fan hurling obscenities at you. Anyway, Yeah, so anyway, the top 75, I think all those fucking black and white motherfuckers got to go. I think all the like
Not all of them. Bill Russell is
Bill
staying.
Russell's
Bill
the-
Russell's
honestly,
staying.
Bill Russell-
Sam Jones is staying.
maybe Sam Jones. I could
Elgin
listen
Baylor
to.
and Jerry West are staying.
Okay,
Come on,
fine.
Wilt
Those
is
guys
staying.
can. Wilt is staying too. Wilt is staying too.
Willis
But-
Reed and Walt Frazier are fucking staying. Don't you? Shout out to how much, dude. Shout out to how many Knicks made this list. Ewing, Jerry Lucas.
The Busher's got to go, brother.
No.
He's gotta fucking go.
Oh, you don't.
He's
no,
gotta
fuck
fucking
you.
go, bro.
Look up his numbers, dude.
Okay, the Busher or fucking T-Mac? Who would you rather fucking have on? If you're playing somebody for your life and it's like you die if,
Why don't
if
you
this
do
person
me a
wins
favor and
one-on-one,
look up-
Are you
why don't
betting
you-
on T-Mac or Dave DeBuscher?
Do me a favor and look up Dave DeBuscher's statistics and how consistent they were for how many years. The motherfucker was a
Okay,
rock.
62.
I hear Bob Seger like a rock playing when I think about him. This motherfucker was steady.
I'm just saying.
Knicks got him
T-Mac,
in a coin flip. They
T-Mac-
flipped the coin with the
Dude,
Pistons.
DeBuscher drank beer. He did like Miller Lite ads. He
Okay.
DeBuscher was the fucking
him
man.
or T-Mac. Okay, how about this? We play for our lives. I'm taking T-Mac. You can have Dave DeBuscher. Sam, how about that?
Fundamentals, they went out in the
You're
end.
getting
T-Mac
brother.
not going to T-Mac not going to D you up, Stav.
That is true. That is true.
You
No,
sure?
we're not playing together. We're not playing.
Oh,
It's
oh,
one-on-one.
Okay, fine. I take it's T-Mac on the Knicks versus DeBuscher on
No,
the Knicks.
you don't
in
get
this
him on the
prime.
Knicks. You don't get Spurs T-Mac against Dave
Yeah.
DeBuscher.
Yeah,
No,
hot
I love,
T-Mac.
dude. I'm a huge Tracy McGrady fan. He was
Yeah.
my favorite player, that non-Nick of that era.
Of course.
And,
I
you
had
know,
I had the shoes. Are you kidding me?
Oh, those
The
shoes.
shoes
rock,
were
dude.
hard. The
Those were
shoes
sick.
were hard.
That they put Adidas on the map for players, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I had those.
Shout
I
out
had
to
the
Wets.
D Wades. I had those. I had the D Wade Converses. My
But
foot was
you
too
not
fat.
you
to fit
can't tell
into
me
a
those
Nike.
Dave. You can't tell me those Dave DeBuscher numbers aren't fucking for that era.
He
too.
deserves it more than Bob Cousy, but at the end of the day, that motherfucker's got to go.
At the end of the day, no Knicks are going, motherfucker.
Okay.
I love
You're fucking.
Walt Frazier is going nowhere. Willis Reed, the captain, dude. I was watching.
I don't know.
that-
I gotta be honest. I honestly don't know shit about Willis Reed except for him coming back with that fucked up leg and not even being that good. But it was an
League
emotional-
MVP, dude. He was the MVP of the league.
Okay, I don't know. I said I gotta admit I don't know that much about.
Well, then maybe
old
you
Knicks.
should back off bashing some old Knicks.
All I said was Dave DeBuscher
You need-
versus
you're
T-Mac.
ignorant. You're
Are you
ignorant.
counting Earl the Pearl as a Nick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Rolls Royce
Yeah.
backcourt. He's
He
a Knick.
rules. He rules. I'm in on him.
Black
Earl
Jesus,
the Pearl
dude.
stays. Yeah, Black Jesus.
What about
for
fucking?
sure.
Oh my god! Like there's a name I had never heard in my life. Paul Reason. Straight up, put his like. You just look at his. He was the 1950 Rookie of the Year.
Come
Get
on, man.
the fuck out of here, bro.
Well, they
Get
have
the
to
fuck
show
out.
off. They have to show off
okay,
the
how about
richness
this?
of the league.
If
And
you,
that's why
I'm
they're
looking.
doing this.
Listen, I'm looking at his fucking basketball reference. If your basketball reference takes a break for when you fought in the Korean War, you don't get to be in this fucking list. Okay.
Why not? Your man
I
came
mean-
back
I
from
mean-
the war, put up 20. I don't know, dog.
No, I'm with you.
He
Elgin
seen
Baylor
some
was.
stuff.
That's what Elgin Baylor was doing. He was in the military.
Not the
and then
Korean War.
the Squid Games before Squid Games. That's what.
yeah.
Oh my god! Dude, look at this
Yeah.
pic. You just see a picture of that guy Paul Reason, and it's like he has a double chin. He was a guard, a small forward with a double.
I also,
chin.
I'm a very weak man, and I feel like I'm better toned than he is.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably got that weird '50s like strength. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to
yeah.
fight Paul.
Oh no, he
Reason.
would kick my ass for
Absolutely. But at the same time, I stand by everything I just fucking said. So, anyway, give me T Mac over Paul Reason, and he played for the Philadelphia Warriors. They
But
were
this is
not
what
yet
they
in
do.
Golden State.
You need to have guys from the beginning if you're doing a 75 list. I mean, that's
but you
the
need
problem,
like
is,
5 of them. You need Bill Russell.
No,
You know what
I
mean?
think they just added 26, right?
No. Because here's the thing: what they said that the top 50, you weren't guaranteed to make it, but then they put all of them in anyway.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
were
like
scared. They were
it's
scared.
bullshit.
They was like they said that, but then there was like copy and paste. All right. Kobe
Yeah.
gotta go, Tim gotta go, LeBron gotta go, and then they probably, all right, now we gotta make some decisions.
Yeah, but anyway, listen, Giannis is in. That's all I fucking really give a fuck about.
Is he the youngest guy in the list? He must be, right?
Probably. Although
Probably.
they put apparently, I don't know this. I mean, I didn't know this until I like started reading about this list. But apparently, they put Shaq in when he was 4 years in because they were just like, I mean, this guy's a fucking freak. No, like he gets it,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
one of those.
50. He hadn't won the championship yet.
No,
He just got on the Lakers.
yeah, and it's like that just goes to show you how accomplished Giannis is already to be like fucking
It's
championship,
insane.
2 MVPs, DPOY, you're in.
And Julius will be there for the 100. So I'm excited
Yeah,
for
the
that.
100 Julius is definitely in there, buddy. I can't wait. What is that? That's gonna be 2046. Damn.
I met Julius. At
Knock
the
on wood, we're
ESPYs,
alive.
man.
You met Julius Randle? Rob?
Yeah, I met him at the ESPYs. He
Oh.
was extremely cool. Yeah.
Hell
Aw.
yeah.
It was him and Tracy Morgan and Disa Samiro all
hell yeah.
backstage. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome. You should
Mm-hmm.
see. You should have saw this. If you guys aren't watching the video, the softness in Sam's eyes. He was literally touched. It was like it was heartwarming for him. He's like, oh, I wish. It's like he's jealous that Rob got to like have a like he's petting
I'm,
like a kid.
I'm happy that you got to live for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I also dapped up Mello, who was he definitely Shades was definitely dark. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
yeah.
Mello was
Oh, Mello's this is
decriminalized at the time. Yeah.
this is 20th ESPYs. He doesn't give a fuck.
How
know
do
what
you
I mean?
feel about
No,
the
I'm talking
Melo
about
on the-
Mello Ball.
Oh, LaMelo Ball. Oh,
Melo
shit.
Ball,
Hell
yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gotten
Speaking
like
of-
rookie
I mean-
athlete or whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty pissed that they're 3-0 because we own their draft pick. I want them to. I mean, look, it's early in the season, but
Who?
The Hornets.
The Hornets?
the Hornets are 3-0.
Oh,
Yeah,
No, they're good. They're good.
They're
good, but I
Jay-Z
could see them-
came to their game.
Yeah, I
Wow,
saw
yeah.
they just fucking beat the Nets. I watched that game because it was
the
the,
Nets
only
are
game
1
going
and
on.
2.
Dude, that was the only game going on yesterday in the middle of the day, the afternoon, and it was a fucking wild game. The fucking Hornets made their run with Melo on the bench. It was fucking Ish Smith carving up the Nets. It's like
Walt Frazier loves Ish Smith. Like
you
for
can't,
years,
dude.
he
You
was-
can't have a 5'10" like militantly Christian backup point guard shredding your fucking super team like that, dude. That cannot be who gets it done for you. They looked fucking dog shit on defense. Dog shit.
Well, that's the thing too with the Lakers. I mean, Rob, that's your team. Their D is so bad. It worries me when I see the amount of assists that Westbrook is putting up because that's just time the ball is not in LeBron's hand.
Yeah, I mean, like he got a lot to like DeAndre last night. but
Who's
it
that?
was like
You want to talk about that? Somebody's got to. That motherfucker's got to go. He fucking stinks. DeAndre Jordan stinks, bro.
But DeAndre Jordan was the only one hustling. He was the only one playing.
Yeah, because he knows he
so
sees
it's
the
like,
writing on the wall.
Reward this man. You know,
This is like
'cause
this is,
the other
this is like
big
when
men
you've
are
gotten
out here
fat.
fighting each other on the bench, or at least
That's true.
pretending to about to fight.
Nah, dude. I'll tell you what predicament DeAndre's in right now. He has gotten fat as shit. He just got fired. His girlfriend, meanwhile, never looked better. She's toned. She got a fucking big promotion at work. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything is going right for her. There's a new cool guy at work, and she's like, yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go hang out with Fabian. We're gonna go to work happy hour afterwards. And he's like, is he gonna be there? It's like, yeah, but it's like a work thing. That's DeAndre. He's cleaning now. You know what I mean? He's like cleaning up the apartment. He's like, he knows he's the fucking the writing is on the wall. It just
the
happened to him with the
third-
Nets.
Although
the Nets
they got rid of Marcus Gasol for him. I mean, I don't know.
That
I mean,
was fucking crazy.
Marcus Gasol didn't realize he was old. He didn't want to come off the bench, and it's like, dog, hey man, we need you for the playoffs.
I love
don't know
Marc
why are
Gasol.
you crying about right
Yeah.
now? This is not your time. Your time is when we deep in the playoffs.
I agree with you, but they really could. I mean, he looks a lot. I would rather have fucking calcified Marc Gasol than DeAndre Jordan.
just because he
without
stretches the
question.
floor and they need
Exactly.
shooting. I mean, when
and
you
a
have, when
passer,
you-
and he's like a high IQ
Yeah.
passer. Really,
and
I mean,
he's old, but he plays D. I mean,
his
he
defense still is something. Yeah, for sure.
Gasol on the Raptors, I would take. Lakers Gasol was chilling.
He was bad. I will admit
He
he
was
not
chilling.
good. He was not
And
good.
chucking threes. And
Yeah, but
he-
do you
he
feel
can
good
bounce.
about this roster? I really thought it would look better, but I mean, Malik Monk, I mean, needs to kind of become this steady shooter for you guys. Kendrick Nunn, I don't know where you're getting your points from, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why Melo was fucking. he was so important in that game yesterday. But go ahead, Rob. Sorry to cut
But
you
then
off.
with
Oh, no,
Melo,
you
then
good.
your defense then takes a huge hit. Obviously,
This
if you have Melo
team
and Westbrook out there.
reminds me of that Cavs team that had everybody.
Yes,
the Cavs
dude.
had D Rose and D Wade and Isaiah Thomas.
Yep,
and,
dude. I
you
was
know,
just thinking that
and
Westbrook is going to start
Crowder
getting the
and-
Isaiah Thomas treatment real soon.
they remind me of that team that had everybody, and it's like if that 18 Cavs team would have stayed together and been okay and made it to the playoffs, they might have went on a run. But unfortunately, you couldn't keep all those egos together. You couldn't keep,
Right.
you know, the J.R. Smiths. They had about 27 shooting guards on that team. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was just too many people that do the same thing. So I think, you know, if they figure out a way to appease Russ, but then also let Russ be the general for the bench, and then
Oh, dude, that's
know,
but that's it.
activate playoff Rondo. You know,
Yeah, Sam knows all about him.
You know what this looks like? It looks like the new Wes Anderson movie where like everyone is in it, but you still don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like this is the end. Could have been the greatest comedy of all time, but it's like it's too many people in there. You know, Rihanna in there for a second.
Yeah,
she got
yeah,
lines,
yeah.
You know,
You're like,
There's a
Bill
lot
Murray's
going on.
getting pretty old. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I will. Okay, to give the Lakers a little bit of credit, just a little fucking piece of credit. They are missing, like, if they have any semblance of wings on this roster, they're missing all of them, right? Like Ariza and Wayne Ellington are theoretically going to do. They're really, which is a problem. If Trevor Ariza and Wayne Ellington are this important to your roster's balance, that's a big issue. But still, they are missing those guys, right? And then even Taylor Horton Tucker.
Ellington is a very good shooter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And even THT, it's like, yeah, you can argue that he kind of doesn't really make that much sense with Westbrook. In a lot of ways, they kind of like overlap, except THT is probably like, a little hungrier on defense, although it's not like he's that good, but he's longer. But he's another ball dominant guy that I think makes a lot more sense on the second unit. But at the same time, he's the right sized body that the Lakers need right now. Whereas like you're trying to replace those guys with, Melo. So they can either go really small. They got Malik Monk playing a lot. They got Austin Reeves got fucking 18 minutes, and he was actually not bad in that game against the Grizzlies. That was a fucking great game, by the way. Did you see that one? Again, fucking Ja went the fuck off, bro.
You know who the Lakers weirdly
Lakers
need
Grizzlies.
they weirdly need like a Contavious Caldwell Pope is what they need.
Exactly.
They
No,
do.
seriously.
They need
seriously.
some guys that's going to be able to
100%.
run around all day long like Caruso and Pope, and we definitely miss them. I was watching the game. The Lakers was, they were tripping. They got off to a super slow start. Ja Morant was killing
them, dude. He was unbelievable. 40
Let
and
me
10.
go see what Issa Rae's talking about. So I went to Insecure, watched Insecure, then I watched Curve, and then I watched John Oliver, and he taught me about Taiwan and what's going on over there. Then I came back, and it was like a 2-point game. Ja Morant was still going off,
He was killing him, and he had a chance to tie it at the end. They fouled him when he took a three, and he hit the first two, and he just missed the last one. That would have been his 41st point, and he would have taken them into overtime. I was begging for it to go into overtime just because it was such a good game.
I was begging for it to not. I was like, if these old dudes got to go to overtime, it's a wrap.
That is true.
Ja Morant because he almost had this one putback dunk that was like, ooh, we would have had DeAndre on a poster, and
it was
Davian would have been happy.
Dude, it was fucking beautiful. I mean, he was so good. And Russ was just not good that game. I mean, he really is just mashing the turbo button a lot. Like he's doing that.
Yeah.
You can never say Russ doesn't play hard, but
yeah.
But
it's like how like a 21-year-old fucks where it's just like nonstop.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you need to pace yourself. It's not going to get her off.
Yes. He's the jackhammer for sure. He's fucking when he fingers, it's just when he's rubbing a clit, it's like, he rubs the skin off. That style.
But he secured the game with that steal. He got that steal at the end, and it's like, all right, his head is still in the game. I just think Russ just can't think about stats at all and just gotta play. I think everybody's just gotta play. Nobody's gotta have like goals of like I I want to get this individual thing. They just got to play.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think what that means though is like he has to recognize that like either he does what you said earlier, which I think is really smart, is like play him on the fucking second unit, let him be that guy. I just don't think he'll ever do that. I don't think he's gonna do that.
Which is like Derrick Rose is what he did. It's what he even didn't ask for the starting spot. I got to be honest. Derrick Rose is our best point guard without question. I love Kemba, but Rose is our best.
Kemba's looking tough.
He
looked bad yesterday.
I'm really glad we have a guest today because I don't want to talk about.
He looked bad. We're going to talk about it. He looked bad.
But I will say, man, like Derrick Rose out of the gate just said, this is his starting spot. I'm coming off the bench because he didn't want there to be any ego. And I don't see that in
Okay,
Westbrook.
but Derrick Rose also had a catastrophic fucking injury, was out of the league, had a fucking
I would rather
trial.
have like Derrick Rose.
He's gone through a lot of he's been humbled.
Would you rather
by
have
life.
Westbrook than Rose at this point? Watch both of them play. I'd rather have Derrick Rose.
I'd rather have Rose with this mindset. Now, Westbrook had Rose mindset, then for sure.
Yeah.
But if that 2018 Cavs team that I was talking about, if Rose had the mindset that he had after going to Minnesota and going to Detroit, then that team
humility is what you mean.
Team,
humility is what you're saying. And Derrick Rose also hit 3 straight threes yesterday. Derrick Rose can shoot.
Yeah,
it's just so funny how you always like. Who gives a fuck if you'd rather have Rose or Westbrook? What kind of argument is this to have?
Well, they around the same age. They was on the same.
What do you mean? What kind of argument?
Team.
There's been this.
You
talk
just
forever.
you cherry pick these nice little pro Knicks arguments. I see what you're doing. Westbrook stock is low.
Who do you think you're doing a podcast with? What do you think?
And who do I? I'm the one who's got to fucking constantly remind you.
He wants the pod to lie.
Do you think you joined up with like Howard Beck or Zach Lowe, or do you think you joined up with a comedian who's got a mental illness to always spin things to the
Hey, just remember this when I'm going on minute 7 about what Alex Caruso's balls taste like. Okay.
Yeah, I will. I will. And you remember it when I say I think Emmanuel Quickly could turn into a scoring machine.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you. I love Quickly.
All right, and I think Obi Toppin could make the haters really turn things around. So
wow, that's a real straw. You really went out on a limb on that one,
I cherry
Sam.
pick things that I can't be proven wrong on.
Okay,
that's a great rhetorical
the
device.
fabric that they made to make the Spike Lee suit, is there any of that fabric left, or do they gotta burn that so nobody else could also have like an NBA suit fabric garment?
That's a great question. I'm asking for that. I'm trying to wear that. I'm trying to show up courtside in Spike's exact outfit.
Yo,
I
if somebody
don't
did
feel
like a late night in that like NBA houndstooth, that
Yes, hell yeah, dude.
Dude, I just
I'm gonna
think
film
like,
my first special in that.
I'm just worried. Like, tell me, like LeBron goes out for 12 games. Say
They're
he misses
done.
12 games. They're fucked. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and even
Actually, you
the
know
fact,
what? You know what's kind of crazy? That's how fucking poorly constructed this team is. That like I could see them sort of surviving because again, Westbrook right now doesn't want to get it through his head that he can't be the ball dominant guy. So if LeBron goes out and it's like they could probably beat some bad teams if Westbrook is just like OKC Wizards Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's fucked up, which is weird. But they can't beat good teams. You know what I mean? To your point, Sam, they can't beat any fucking good teams.
well, I just think in the playoffs, Westbrook is really just a liability.
Oh, in the playoffs, they're fucked. They're fucked. And I also think to Rob, the thing that like if he's going to play on the first unit, like which he is going to start without any more shooting, because let's be honest, if you have LeBron and Westbrook already, like LeBron's fine, but like LeBron and Westbrook already, you don't have enough shooting. And then Anthony Davis is a good shooter for his position, but then it's like, well, are you starting a center? Because then even less shooting, you know. So unless you go small. Unless you go small and have AD at the 5 and then you put them around, you know, I don't know. Bazemore seems to be the guy they're starting, although he's looked bad, horrific.
Oh, man. I hate the headband. I hate the everything.
Well, Russ just has to be like a cutter. He has to set screens. He has to like play kind of like Bruce Brown on the fucking Nets instead of playing like a 1. He's got to play like a short 5, like
I thought
kind of was doing on Houston.
I thought Bazemore looked kind of washed last year, so that was one of
Bazemore's a
weird. Ever since Bazemore decided to talk trash to Bradley Beal, I've been
over.
out
You're
on
right.
Bazemore.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like Whether you got a point or not, just certain people you just can't talk to like that because you can't do what they do. You can't do what Bradley Beal does.
No.
He got paid though. He got remember when
Baze got lucky. Baze got very lucky.
Hawks?
He came up. He was a free agent when it was the smoothing year, the cap smoothing year.
But also I think Dwight Howard got paid by the Hawks. That was a weird year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Hawks was just giving out money. They gave Rondo a contract, and then Rondo was like, "Cool, I'll take this contract and go back to the Lakers."
Yeah. The Clippers. That was last year.
This contract,
Yeah, that was bad. I thought that was a fucking dumb move last offseason, but they got out of it pretty easily, and they got Lou Will for it, and he seems to have, at first, while he was mad, he's kind of settled in. He's like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. It's my hometown. He's clear. He sees that they're building something. As much as I hate to admit it, Atlanta is building something.
I hate to admit it, but they're a very good team.
He took back a retirement.
Yeah, he took back a retirement.
He retired and then was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it."
Yeah.
I forgot
Absolutely.
Magic City is right by State Farm Arena. It's not
Lemon
that far.
pepper
It's
special,
walking
man.
distance if it's a bad day.
but yeah, man, I just think I'm starting to like the Grizzlies are just like Ja is so good. Triple J has looked good, and just they were such a deep team last year, and that hasn't really gone away. Like they don't have outside of Ja, like they clearly don't have any top line talent. Triple J is not there yet, and he's a little too inconsistent. He's not physical enough, but they have a lot of really fucking solid players, and I don't know.
I like their attitude. I like Ja Morant. Right after the game, tweeted, "Failure builds character," and it's like, dude, you put up 40 and you ain't
40
had
and
nobody
10
with you.
Yeah,
I like calling yourself a failure after a loss. I mean, even though you drop that kind of points.
Yeah. And the minute he missed a shot, he was like, "Dang, that's my fault, y'all. That's my fault." Like I love that.
Well, his father was his first hater, as he said.
I even love when Iguodala wouldn't go to Memphis and then they were talking trash to him.
Dude,
like
I loved it.
He's not a
I loved it.
I love that.
That was awesome. When they're like, "We'll see you at the bubble," and Iguodala was like, "I don't know you guys." He's like, "I don't have."
I'm
any
not gonna recognize you without your name on your back. Oh, that's equality right there.
A guy like Dylan Brooks.
Yeah,
you piss off a guy
Black
like
Lives
Dylan
Matter
Brooks.
is really mad at me right now.
Dude, you piss off. Dylan Brooks is not the type of dude I would want to because he just seems like one of those dudes that could get fired up from fucking anything.
Yeah. Even though he did talk, his problem was talking shit to LeBron that one time. That was embarrassing. But hey, he overdid it. One thing that I did think was funny is Zion Williams was playing, that kid from Stanford, against LeBron and Carmelo, and he literally was Bronny's teammate in high school. That's fucking wild. We've gotten to the point where LeBron is playing his son's high school teammates.
Yeah.
Insanity, dude. Motherfucker's been in the league 19 years. But that's also the other thing is like he played 40 minutes in game 3 of the season, and they almost lost to the Memphis Grizzlies that people think might be like a fringe play-in team. Right? You cannot have year 19 LeBron playing
and you're not winning
minutes.
without Melo going off. By the way,
Melo
congrats to Melo passing Moses Malone, becoming the 9th all-time regular season scorer. It's pretty amazing stat. And he's kind of in line. He could pass Shaq too.
I think he will, especially if the Lakers need this much fucking scoring. But yeah, the Lakers are just. It feels like they're going to have to do something, and I don't know if they even have.
I said at the beginning of the year the Knicks are better than the Lakers, and I stand by it.
You say that
when you
every
said
year,
that,
though.
yeah, and also
it doesn't matter if I say it every year. I get panned when they so I deserve credit when I'm right.
No, that's the broken clock is right twice a day thing. It's
Who's
not
guarding Fournier?
Oh, so you're saying in a series they're better? They're not just the better team. You're saying the Knicks would beat them in a series?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to wait till the finals, I guess, pal.
The Derrick Rose Westbrook rivalry resumes.
Hey, when they
Also,
were on
when you
that
say
FIBA team together, that 2010 like World Basketball Championship, and like Derrick Rose would go on the bench, you'd see like them players from all over the world like take a breath, like, whew. and then Westbrook would come out there
Yeah.
with a mohawk and dunk on them. They'd be looking like, yo, they got another one on the bench. Like, what are we supposed to do?
That
like,
must have been so annoying.
We'll call the Knicks. We'll call
the
the Knicks Lakers series the passing of the throne.
Yeah.
LeBron to King Julius.
Yes. And by the way, when you say you said it at the beginning of the year, you mean you tweeted it 2 days ago. It is
You know
still
what?
the beginning of the year.
It was like 5 days ago, dude.
You're fired up. All right, fuck it. You want to talk Knicks? Let's talk about
Look,
that fucking Orlando
that
game.
one really hurt. I did not expect Cole Anthony to have the game of his fucking life.
Cole Anthony had a fucking revenge game because you know he wanted to be a Knick real bad.
Well, also the best part too is I love when Mike Breen just sets up Frazier to just be like, "Does he remind you of Greg Anthony?" And Frazier just goes, "No." he's like Greg Anthony was known for his defense.
Yeah, I mean Cole.
I love
is
Frazier.
a
Frazier
shoot first.
Frazier cannot fake confidence at all. Even when they talked about players who grew up in New York, they were like, "Who's the last, New York player?" So there's any Knicks ever from Staten Island, and Mike Breen brought up Ronaldo Balkman, and all Frazier can go is he goes, "Oh, Ronaldo Balkman, how could we forget it?" And Frazier's like, "Oh," like he can't say anything nice.
Yeah. How
Can't
could
say
we
anything
forget?
nice. He was part of
Very
excellence.
easily is how you could forget. That's the answer. That's the answer to how you can forget Ronaldo Balkman.
I love Ronaldo.
Fuck. Let me fucking see here. But anyway,
That was a tough game for the Knicks. It was very maddening. I have to say, man, I'm really frustrated with Alec Burks. I think he is playing a lot of hero ball. He can't buy a bucket. The problem is he's got to fit into the offense. We have so many weapons. Derrick Rose looked incredible off the bench. I mean, he really looks like a great player still.
Yeah. I mean, Kemba was just like tough though, dude. He really just was bad on defense.
Yeah.
And just like, minus 14 for the game. A lot of those Cole Anthony buckets happened because you got fucking Kemba on him. I mean, he only played 20 minutes. And
look, Fournier wasn't good yesterday either. Randall didn't shoot particularly well. I mean, he still dropped 30, but 2 for 10 from 3. I mean, this is
everyone.
a terrible
People had a bad game. RJ had a bad game. It was just a bad game.
RJ almost might worry me the most because his shot selection has been terrible, and also like RJ needs a mid-range shot. Like you can't just be a guy who's camping out for those corner threes. Although a 3-point shot has improved, I have no doubt that RJ will improve. Well, the second unit, which is supposed to be great, is worrying me a lot with Burks. And yeah, I miss Reggie Bullock for sure.
I liked, we've talked about that ad nauseum, how I thought they should have kept Bullock instead of him. But yeah, I mean, this is just going to happen sometimes. But yeah, it is tough because
Obi didn't give us much. Off
it was
the
just
bench.
everyone had everyone basically had a bad game except Mitch was pretty good. But even he, what it was a Mitch versus Mo Bamba, who's actually been looking kind of good recently.
Has a 3 now. I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I love it because he's a Harlem kid, so good for Mo Bamba. But I just worry about our defense because that was our identity last year.
No, for sure.
As much as I love Kemba, his D is terrible. Fournier can play a little D.
Nah, I mean he's average. It's not like
he's
good.
average, but all we need is average. If RJ, Julius, and Mitchell are who we know they are, we just need a point guard because it also we know what modern NBA defense starts with the perimeter.
Yeah,
especially with like a good point guard. So
yeah, point of attack defense is bad. And listen, I know you want to suck off what's his face from last year for being a good defender. He wasn't even that.
Alfred Payton. No, he's a very good defender.
He wasn't even that good
offensive
last
player.
year, dude.
No. Alfred Payton's an excellent defensive player. He can't play. He was
okay last year.
He can't shoot, and he's an inconsistent offensive player. But his defense is very good. I mean, he's
a better help defender than I'm just saying. Our point of attack defense has been tough.
Alfred Payton is a huge point guard for.
I just mean
that
the Knicks. But this year in particular, it's like it's just that's going to be an issue for us because even the backups, whatever you want to say about D Rose, he's old, and I love Quickly, obviously, but he's not a great defender at the point of attack. So this
will all fix. This will all be fixed. I'm just angry because the Knicks should be 3-0 right now, and we have the Sixers this week.
Sixers coming up,
and sure, the Sixers are a toxic team, but they're a great team still. I'm a little nervous for that one. We should be 3-0. I mean, you can't be losing. There is a clear advantage when you play a team back to back because you make adjustments. But we still.
But
have
this
to
was
beat
a home
the
and home
Magic.
though, right? Like
No. We were in Orlando the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We have to beat Orlando no matter what.
You got to beat
Like,
Orlando.
They're
twice.
a terrible
You do.
team.
You do. Yeah.
But shout out to their young rookie coach, Jamal Mosley, who seems like a good young coach. And
I mean, really, the story of this game is Cole Anthony went off, and everyone but Julius had a bad game, and Julius's game wasn't even particularly efficient.
Look at this numbers from Cole Anthony: 29 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists, and he shot 5 of 9 from 3.
Yeah. I mean, that's insanity. That's fucking insanity. That's like a fucking MVP level 1 game, So
he's a good player.
Anyway, other stuff that I was looking around that just, again, dude, I'm just, in general, I'm feeling so good because it's like, there's always a game going on, dude. Like, there's always something to be watching. It feels so good.
Yeah.
I was watching, man, I talked about him a little bit in the pre-season stuff, but I wasn't even that aware of him and how much I would fall in love with him. I fucking love Davion Mitchell, dude. I fucking love the kid. Him as the third guard with Buddy and Fox. It's like, I love those guys. They keep adding players I fucking love. He is insane. I mean, insane defender. Like the kind of defensive talent, like the way people were talking about Thibault in Philly, where it's like the second you get into the league, you're one of the best defenders in the league. That was Mitchell. He was fucking.
Well, he's 23.
Yeah, exactly. He's an older guy, but still, he was at Baylor, which had a really physical program that was very successful. Went to the NCAA finals and all that stuff.
Is Davion the one that had the press conference about a rebound?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
And they was like, what happened? He was like, well, you tried to jump up and grab the ball, and I jumped up.
I don't know if it is.
Grab the ball. It was like
if it is, I love him even more. But no, dude, he was guarding. So he had the Kings recently played. And by the way, what happened to them?
They played the Warriors, who they lost to, who I said would be a good team this year, Stav, and they're 3-0. And are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to admit that Jordan Poole can fucking play?
No, fuck Jordan Poole.
He had 22 yesterday.
Fuck Jordan Poole. Fuck you. Suck my dick. The Warriors, it's gonna come crashing down, baby. It's still early.
That's not a constructive basketball conversation.
Yes,
you tell me to suck your dick. This is not.
I'm sticking to my guns. It's still early, baby. Okay, it's gonna. They're gonna fucking come crashing down. I want to talk about. Don't you fucking dare take my Davion Mitchell chunk of the podcast to talk about the bitch ass Warriors. Okay,
I'm gonna take it to talk about Gary Payton II, motherfucker.
Hey, listen, I actually like him. I like him. He's
cool. He plays awesome defense. I like that kid.
But yeah, so Mitchell played. Not only did he play the Warriors, and look, he looked good against Steph. I mean, no one shuts down Steph, obviously, but he was good. And then he played. He was against Donovan Mitchell when they played the Jazz. Dude, he had that motherfucker wrapped up on certain possessions. It's insane. He's got the best nickname. His nickname is Off Night because it's like when you're matched up against him, you're gonna have an off night. How great a fucking nickname is that?
It's fucking good.
Yeah, dude, he was fucking so good. And now his offense obviously is really clunky. No, you can't be that good on defense and be not be a top 4 pick if your offense isn't that bad.
Yeah, that nickname can backfire.
Yeah.
You having an off night, then it's like,
yeah.
His offense call you off night. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, and listen, against both of these teams, the Jazz and the Warriors, basically what I was afraid was going to happened to the Kings, which is like, they're fun. They have some young guys I really like, but at the end of the day, and they'll have great highlights. Now, Off Night's got his little fucking defensive highlights. You had Fox doing dunks.
He's also a small guy, Stav. I mean, this is like a pretty small team with Fox, Davion, and Tyrese, who's also,
Well, they want to go small, though.
Yeah.
They do want to go small.
What are they doing with Bagley? I mean, who wants Bagley? They want to trade him.
Oh, 100%.
That's top 5 picks. It's weird that Bagley is by far the worst. I mean, you look at that draft, it's like
because he was thought of as like the safe worst case scenario. He'll be okay. He'll be solid.
He was like the safe pick, and the other picks were Aiden, Luka, Trey, and who was the other one? I'm forgetting.
Who was number 5?
It was Jaren Jackson.
Oh yes, exactly. He was 4.
He was 4.
The Grizzlies.
And Trey was 5. That's an insane top 5.
It's tough to be number 2 on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're fucking doing with him, and I think they should probably pay him a little more. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I'm looking up. You're right. I mean, I know he's a small guy. I figured he was one of those guys that has a crazy wingspan, but no, it's just 6'4". He's 6 feet tall, so it's like he's just that physical of a guy. But I don't know.
Well,
I just
Lou
love
Dort
that.
is also a short player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
he's an
it's those
incredible
stocky
defender.
motherfuckers that just get into you.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I just want other things that I really loved. I wanted to highlight that. I just wanted to say the Raptors beating the Celtics was so fucking funny. Barnes, by the way, there's two rookies that like I thought for sure Jalen Suggs would be better, but I mean, and it's obviously so early, don't get me wrong, but Barnes really looked fucking good.
By the
when they
way,
beat the Celtics.
I think Jalen Suggs is very good. I think his finishing and his shot are not really there yet, but he is a big body point guard with skills. I think he will.
Yeah.
Be good.
No, I think he's going to be good too. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I've just been really impressed by Scotty Barnes in a way that the way people were talking about him, and I didn't watch that much of him. I thought he was going to be kind of close to what we said with Mitchell, where it's like one of these very just younger, physical, like Kuminga, these guys that have all the tools and are great athletes, but don't have it put together yet. Scotty Barnes was fucking, his offense looked good, like straight up good against the Celtics. And he was an incredible defender. He had like, his line
He
was
might be
crazy.
rookie of the year, honestly.
His line was fucking crazy. He had 25, 13, and a couple assists against it when they beat the Celtics. He was fucking straight up
I take
good.
that back. It's probably going to end up being Cunningham or Green. But
Well, Green
Barnes,
just had a fucking crazy game
yeah.
again against the Celtics. Maybe this is a theme.
That was the
You
one.
can go
the
off
Celtics
against the
won win.
Celtics.
Yeah.
The Rockets obviously did lose that game, but Green was unbelievable. He was like, he tied the rookie record for most threes in a game.
8 for 10.
80 fucking percent from three. I mean, that's fucking insanity. And he just, I mean, had some insane dunks, like really got up there. He's good. He's fun to watch. And then I also wanted to say the Wolves. I mean, I know it's early and I know they've only played like bullshit teams, but the Pelicans, by the way, the Wolves beat the Pelicans. The Pelicans look fucking horrendous. I know they don't have Zion, but everyone's talking about Zion wanting out. I think they need to start worrying about Brandon Ingram, dude. If I was Brandon Ingram, why the fuck would I want to play in New Orleans? You're wasting your talent just as much as Zion is, and no one's talking about you at all.
It's also just not a great. I love the city of New Orleans, but it's not a good basketball city.
No one gives a fuck.
No.
It's a
Like,
football
people
city.
like Tulane football more than they like the Saints.
Yeah.
In fucking like it doesn't have to be LSU. You have to go down like go down like 3 fucking levels of football.
Did you guys see the thing during the I think it was like, it could have been the pandemic. You'll know what I'm talking about. Where no one would buy the Anthony Davis
Anthony
ruffles.
Davis, the ruffles.
Did you see that?
No, it was
In
during
New
a
Orleans?
hurricane. It was during that
No.
hurricane, and and everything was like the grocery stores were completely barren except Anthony Davis ruffles.
It was
They
also
weren't
like a
even
line.
looted.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. The flavor looked interesting to me. A little fucking lime.
I like ruffles are kind of underrated, man.
Dude, the fucking the cheddar ruffles,
Ooh, with sour cream and cheddar.
bro. Them
fuck
shits
with
are
those.
fucking unbelievable. Yeah, that's a top tier chip.
Yeah, these are lime and jalapeno with AD
I'm
on them.
interested. You've got my attention with that.
I
flavor.
would try
Ruffles
them,
are good,
but I
man.
don't think I'd walk around New Orleans eating them.
Yeah.
I'd try them out here.
I like a lime jalapeno chip, brother.
That it goes to show that as good as because like look, they didn't even retain Lonzo Ball. Like you look at that trade.
That was
now, and
so
you're
fucking
like,
stupid.
well, you look at that trade now, and you're just like, well, that was a really bad trade for you because
You look at the trade then,
They did.
dude. It didn't make any sense. It didn't
well, the
make any sense.
superstar trade is usually like pretty.
Oh, I'm
safe.
sorry. You mean the LA trade? I thought you meant the
Yeah.
Lonzo sign and trade.
No, no,
I had
no, I
no
meant-
idea why they did that. No, you're right. That looked good at the time for sure.
And it is not looking good now. I mean, the only one, I mean, I think the Melo trade, even at the time, we're like, fuck, that's a lot to give up. But usually when you trade a superstar, getting the star is the move.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. I mean, it did fuck the Knicks up, the Melo trade for sure, especially because he was gonna come anyway. I mean, that was just a bad move. But with the you're right with the Pelicans because it's like, are those draft picks going to be any good? Probably. Although now, who knows? The Lakers are looking kind of suspect. But with Lonzo already gone, and like so what you have to show for it is Josh Hart.
You got to re-sign Lonzo Ball.
he makes especially because he makes so much sense with Zion.
Yeah,
they had such a great chemistry. It didn't make any sense, dude.
I'm not even convinced Zion and Brandon Ingram ever liked each other.
No, dude. No.
I think Ingram would play better when Zion wasn't in the game.
For sure.
And would make it harder for Zion to get the ball when he was in the game.
Well, dude, that's the thing. It's both of them. If you think what their best positions are, those guys in the modern NBA Ingram should be a 4 and Zion should be a 5, right? Like, if you're really going to maximize this offense. But if you're going to do that, then you need the other guy to pick up some of the slack on defense. And they're both offense first, kind of smaller than you should be for that position. So then to make it work, you have to have Ingram playing some kind of weird. What's that?
That defense with them at the 4 and 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like they
Yeah.
just don't fit because you need someone to pick up some defensive slack at the other position, and they just don't have that. And then their offense doesn't really fit together either because they're both kind of like Zion has shown what makes him really special is being that size and having the ball in his hand. Like he's good at handling the ball, and Ingram's another really good like ball dominant scorer wing, baby KD type shit. And so it just doesn't really make sense for them, for sure. And that's
they
why
should
I'm
honestly be using him like the Knicks use Julius, except more in a fast break capacity. I mean, Julius brings the ball up a lot. Zion can be doing that.
Yeah, for sure. But then it's like if you're Ingram, then it's like, well, what the fuck am I doing? I'm a shooter for Zion. Fuck that. My game is so much more, not complicated, but like layered, and there's whatever more. My game is much more fucking dynamic than just being a shooter or driving and kicking to Zion.
Did he get paid yet? Did Ingram sign a big contract?
Yeah. He's gotten a max. He's gotten one max from them.
Do you think he's going to get traded though?
Dude, I think this has shown that David Griffin is actually a dog shit GM because he completely fucked this situation after getting a really because I think I thought that deal was good, Sam. It's just what he's done since then has made no fucking sense.
If they retain Lonzo and they have Zion, Lonzo that's an interesting at least core, and then you trade Ingram for something.
And by the way, it's like I know Drew Holiday really wanted to get traded, but it's like, did they really do the best they could? I mean, I'm happy they did it because it led to a Milwaukee championship, but like Eric Bledsoe and draft picks? That's what you got for Drew Holiday? That doesn't make – how does that help you with Zion?
And Drew is such a good guy to just have around young players because he's
Drew wanted to leave.
Greater with Zion.
Drew wanted to leave, so I get it. They did the right thing, but it's like, if he's going to leave, then – you just did it for like draft picks that aren't going to be good, by the way. I mean, Giannis stayed. I mean, I guess at the time they thought Giannis might leave, but now that Giannis stayed, that trade looks even worse than the Anthony Davis trade because you just got the Bucks draft picks during Giannis's prime. Congratulations. You might get a 23rd pick in there if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like they're fucked. Yeah. David Griffin's a fucking idiot. That's my take. He fucking sucks at his job. I don't know him personally. He might be a nice guy, but as a GM, he can suck my little fat nuts.
Well, he got very lucky getting that number 1 pick because it was just kind of the obvious. Like you can do no if he's a bust, it's like, well, he was who everyone said. It's kind of like taking Greg Oden. Yeah. If Greg Oden's a bust, well, everyone told you Oden's the guy.
Yeah, but even at the time, I feel like Greg Oden, there was a little bit of KD is so good buzz going on.
But there was a little bit. This was still like you can win it with a center.
There was,
but also it was like KD can't lift his own weight. KD can't lift the bar.
But there was at least teams. I mean, maybe this is just because back at the time. I mean, this is when we were in middle school. So at the time, a lot of my NBA coverage was Bill Simmons, to be very clear. Like I wasn't reading that much stuff. Like Simmons was like my main.
I was a grown man. I was out here in the 18 and older clubs. Yeah.
Wait, what year was that?
This is like 07.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Bill Simmons. 07 is you're right. I was in high school.
Speak for yourself, man.
I was in high school.
Drinking,
but this was still like when you thought us.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like fresh off. I mean, the Heat had just won with Shaq as being a big part of that. Like you're like, oh,
no, you're right.
Center can still win it all.
The thinking was still
Dwight Howard was like
absolutely
in his prime.
People were still
Greg Oden looked like Bill Russell. Every championship Bill Russell
physically
gives
and how he played.
MVP and Greg Oden was like, "Yo, he from the '60s. Get this guy."
And that, to bring it full circle, is why Bill Russell should not be in the top 75 because no,
You are tripping.
He should be. He should be.
Bill
Hold on,
Russell.
I never said Bill Russell.
We're fucking
I'm
around.
fucking around. Celtics can suck my
Back
dick,
in
but
those
even I
days, you had to
say.
play every team 11 times.
Yeah,
they
well,
knew all your tricks. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
I like how you
it's
spin that as a
different
positive that there were only 8 teams, that it was harder.
Yeah,
No,
it was
dude.
harder.
No, it
and
wasn't.
and the players
They were all
voted the
dog shit.
MVP, which means if you got it, that means you did them in 10 out of 11 times, and they were like, well, he got to be the best. 'Cause
Yeah.
damn.
No, you got the way you have to do best players by era. You go Russell to like
I was fucking joking.
to
Relax, okay?
Kareem.
You aiming at the top. I'm defending Bob Pettit on Instagram. I'm defending all kind of people. I'm like, yo, this. Come
I'm just
on.
saying there was a little buzz about KD. I remember like there were a few people that were like not, like Simmons was saying like he was a big like KD over guy. Danny Ainge, the buzz was that he would have taken KD over him. I think the Celtics ended getting like
there's
third or
always that
fourth.
shit. There was buzz to take Michael Beasley over Derrick Rose. There's always going to be
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, Beasley was good.
Yeah.
And then Odom had that, or I'm sorry, Greg Oden. I said Odom.
Yeah.
Odin had that great championship game too, Ohio State, where he was he looked like a fucking
Dude,
beast.
Conley and Odin on the same fucking team.
I know.
I mean,
Insane.
no one thought Mike Conley's going to have a better NBA career than Odin.
Yeah, no.
I mean, and Conley,
but he was good.
a
He was good then too.
Oh my God, the little teardrop. Yeah, Conley. I love Mike Conley, dude.
He's great. He's great. But anyway, a lot of good shit. See that just like we have no agenda, we just fill up an hour effortlessly because there's so much good shit going on in the NBA right now. Rob, thanks so much for being on the show, man. Sam's got to go get tended to, right? You got a little fucking.
Oh, I got my massage, but hey, man, I'm in Denver this weekend. All
Yeah, go
sold
see
out. Added a 6th show, baby.
Look
Can't
at
wait.
this man.
Then Phoenix, then San Francisco. I'm loving it.
Fuck, Halloween
bet.
weekend, you're fucking selling out. Good for you, brother.
Dog.
That's fire. Wear
That's
your
my
costumes.
Wear your costumes. I need
Wear
some
your
fucking
costumes. Get
ribbons.
drunk as shit. Throw his shit at Sam.
I'm gonna go out like the last scene of Network, but it's gonna be a dude dressed as the Squid Games guy.
So go see Sammy. I am taking Halloween weekend off because shows are notoriously dog shit. But
Yeah,
you know what? Sam's got a mental illness and he doesn't want to sit with himself for even one weekend. So he'll be out there. I'll be at Detroit next week. I'm doing a little theater in Detroit. Please buy some tickets.
Nice.
I don't want to be looking up at a fucking empty balcony, you motherfuckers. We're about half sold out, so please buy those. Then I'm in Columbus the day after, so that's Detroit. That's November 6th. Columbus the 7th. Then I'm doing in New York. I'm doing my hour at the New York Comedy Festival on the 11th. The 10th, and then I'm in New Orleans that weekend, and then Tampa. So I'm all over. Go to stavi.biz/tour. Check it out. Rob, anything you want to plug? Where can the people find you, brother?
Yeah. If you in Asheville, North Carolina, or anywhere around there, and you want an opportunity to see some live comedy come through, I'm gonna be there November 12th. I got the show on BR Kicks.
Fuck
called
yeah,
Sneak
dude.
This with
I like it.
Jamel
I've seen a
Johnson.
bunch of it. It's fun.
Yeah,
man.
it's hilarious. We should have talked about that more. We got to have both you and Jamel on one time.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We could talk about some NBA sneakers. I got some conspiracy theories about the Kobe PEs that are coming out
Ooh,
after
I love it.
Kobe is no longer supposed to have a line with Nike.
Right.
And whatnot,
I
but,
love it.
These PEs keep popping up. But yeah, definitely check that out. I'm Rob Haze on Instagram, ROBHAZE. And Robert is the man on Twitter, normally tweeting during some of these Lakers
That's
games.
right, bro.
And also shout out to the Braves. We in the World Series. What's up?
That's right. So go fucking find Rob. Come see us on the road, and we will talk to you guys for the Patreon. Me and Sammy will be back. We'll probably do it a little earlier this week, and we'll have it out for you. Maybe we'll do a Patreon mailbag, in fact. So yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it.
let's
We're gonna
do
do a
it. Send us
Patreon
shit.
mailbox. Send it to us if you're one of the Hard Dick 1600. We're over the 1600 again. Thank you. Took a little dip in the off season, but we're at 16, like 15, something like that. So 1619. Yeah, let's get that Hard Dick 2000, and we'll proposition Jeff Van Gundy, or I'm sorry, Stan Van Gundy for sex, as promised.
I say we do
If we get
both.
there. Let's do both at the same time. Thanks,
Menage
guys.
Gundy. All right.
I I love it. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.